Alex wiped his hands on a cloth, staring in disbelief at the 7-foot-tall dragon sitting on the edge of their small home's porch. The dragon's scales shimmered in the afternoon sun, reflecting colors he had never seen before, deep blues mixed with golds and soft greens. Lyra, his dragon wife, tilted her head, her large eyes calm but bright with intelligence. I'm carrying your eggs, she said again, her voice low but clear. Alex stumbled backward, nearly dropping the wrench he had been holding. Wait, what? He stammered. His mind raced, trying to make sense of her words. Dragons carrying human eggs? That was impossible, wasn't it? Dragons didn't reproduce with humans, or at least that's what everyone said. Lyra's eyes softened. I know it sounds impossible. I know it's strange, but it's happening. Somehow, I am carrying our eggs. She extended a wing slowly, brushing the air near him. It was a gesture of calm reassurance, but Alex couldn't calm down. He ran a hand through his messy hair. I don't even know how that works. How is this even biologically possible? His voice rose a little, tinged with panic. The neighborhood of alien creatures beyond the walls had always treated him with curiosity and caution, but now the news of this impossible event might draw unwanted attention. Lyra leaned closer, her large muzzle near his shoulder. I don't know exactly, either, but I can feel it. The eggs are growing inside me, and they carry something of you and me, something new. She lowered her head, so her nose almost touched his hand. We need to be careful. Others will want to study this. Some may want to take them. Alex froze. The thought of his dragon wife being harmed, or the eggs being taken, sent a chill down his spine. He had always been a small human, in a big universe, used to relying on technology, strategy, and his own courage. But this was unlike anything he had faced. Protecting a dragon, and now their hybrid eggs, felt impossible. He took a deep breath and tried to focus. Okay, he said, his voice steadier. We'll figure this out. First, I need to understand it. I need to see how you're carrying them. Lyra nodded slowly, her eyes trusting. She moved carefully into the shade of their porch, settling down so that Alex could study her without startling her. As he examined her, he noticed subtle changes in her body. Her scales were warmer in certain spots, and a faint glow pulsed beneath them in a rhythmic pattern. Her chest rose and fell slowly, almost like a heartbeat that was different from her own. Alex's mind raced with questions about genetics, alien biology, and the mysterious connection between their species. Lyra, this is incredible, he whispered. I don't know how it's possible, but somehow it is, and somehow it's our children. She chirped softly in response, a sound he had learned over the years meant agreement and reassurance. Suddenly, a faint rumble echoed from the distance. Alex's ears perked up. He glanced toward the horizon, where their small settlement met the alien forests. He knew the news of a human-dragon hybrid, or even rumors of such, would spread quickly. There were others who want to see, study, or capture Lyra and the eggs. The threat was real, immediate. Alex clenched his fists, determination replacing the panic in his chest. We have to protect them, he said firmly. Lyra's eyes glowed softly in the dim light, and she leaned against him, her massive body warm and comforting. It was a strange feeling, a human heart swelling with both fear and pride. She trusted him, and somehow he felt capable of protecting her and their unborn young. He thought back to all the challenges he had faced before, hostile terrain, rogue alien patrols, and countless missions that had required every ounce of his wit and courage. This was different. This was personal. This was about family, his family, however unusual it might be. Lyra lifted her wing, brushing it gently against his arm. We will face it together, she said softly. Alex nodded. He could feel the bond between them, stronger than ever, built on trust and mutual respect. Over the next few hours, Alex worked carefully around Lyra, setting up monitoring devices and protective wards around their home. He wanted to track any changes in her condition and ensure the eggs remained safe. He moved with patience, speaking softly to her, explaining every step. Lyra responded with gentle movements, nudging him and chirping affectionately when he paused to rest. As night fell, Alex sat beside her, watching the stars reflect off her shimmering scales. He couldn't believe how small he felt compared to her, yet how strong he felt in this moment. He realized that being human in this vast galaxy had its advantages: courage, quick thinking, and empathy, traits that could protect those he loved, even when the universe itself seemed vast and unpredictable. Lyra's eyes closed slowly, and she rested her head near him. Alex stroked her scales, feeling the warmth and life beneath. "We'll make it through this," he whispered. "We'll protect our family, no matter what." She responded with a soft, approving chirp, a sound that made his heart swell. In the quiet night, under the vast alien sky, Alex understood something profound. Being human didn't mean being the strongest. It meant having the courage to face the impossible, the patience to earn trust, and the determination to protect those who depended on him. And now, with Lyra in their eggs, his courage would be tested like never before. He leaned back, looking at the stars, feeling both small and powerful at the same time. This was the beginning of a journey that would change not only his life, but the galaxy's understanding of humans. Somehow, against all odds, he and Lyra had created a miracle, and somehow he knew they would survive anything together. The night was quiet, but full of promise, and Alex, the tiny human with 7-foot dragon wife, felt ready to face whatever the universe would throw at them. Together, they were stronger than anyone could imagine. Alex woke to the soft glow of the alien sun streaming through the window. Lyra was already awake, her massive wings folded neatly against her body as she watched him with calm, intelligent eyes. He had grown accustomed to her presence, yet every morning he felt a mix of awe and amazement at having a dragon wife. And now, with her carrying their eggs, the bond between them had grown deeper, mysterious, and strangely powerful. "Good morning," Alex said, his voice soft. Lyra responded with a low, melodic hum that vibrated gently in the air, a sound he had learned meant good morning and reassurance. He smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest. Somehow, the human mind had begun to understand the alien heart. Over the next few hours, Alex observed Lyra carefully. He noticed subtle changes in her physiology. Her scales glimmered differently, and a soft, rhythmic pulse moved beneath them. Her breathing was slower, more deliberate, as though she were focusing energy inward. Alex could feel a strained connection forming. Sometimes when he thought of her, she would shift slightly, responding almost immediately. He sat near her, running his hand along her smooth scales. "You're different," he whispered. "I can feel it. Something is changing inside you." Lyra tilted her head and nudged him gently with her muzzle. Alex shivered slightly at the warmth and intimacy of the gesture. He realized that he could sense her emotions more clearly than ever before, her confidence, her calm, and her protective instincts over the eggs. The days passed with quiet routines. Alex prepared meals that were suitable for both human and dragon, carefully blending nutrients for Lyra and ensuring she had enough energy for the growing eggs. Lyra would observe him closely, her large eyes tracking every motion, sometimes leaning closer when she felt comforted by his presence. It was not just companionship. It was a partnership, a shared understanding of their unusual situation. One afternoon, as Alex cleaned some monitoring devices, he noticed the boldest pulse of energy from Lyra's body. He paused, sensing a faint mental tug, not words, but an impression of curiosity and thought. He realized then that Lyra was beginning to communicate with him in a way beyond speech. They could share feelings, intentions, and subtle emotions. It was a bond unlike anything he had experienced before. "Lyra, are you trying to tell me something?" he asked quietly. She leaned closer, and for a moment, he felt a flicker of what he could only describe as thought-sharing. He sensed her nervousness about the eggs, her trust in him, and a quiet question. "Can you protect us?" Alex smiled, nodding gently. "Yes, I'll protect you. I'll protect them." The dragon seemed to relax instantly, her body exhaling a soft, warm shiver. The hatchlings inside seemed to respond too, their presence a comforting weight that reminded Alex of responsibility and connection. He marveled at how this bond allowed him to feel the life growing within her, to sense the balance of strength and vulnerability in a creature far larger and more powerful than himself. Outside, the forest whispered with life. Strange alien birds sang, and the wind rustled through the tall, glowing plants. Alex noticed how Lyra's attention shifted subtly to every sound and movement, protecting the eggs even while resting. He had always respected dragons for their intelligence, but seeing her combine instinct with this new connection to him left him in awe. Humans had long been underestimated in the galaxy, yet he realized that empathy, patience, and intelligence were as much a form of strength as claws or fire. As the days went on, Alex experimented with ways to strengthen the bond. He spoke softly to Lyra, describing his thoughts and plans aloud. He touched her scales in rhythm with his heartbeat, letting her sense his steady pulse. She would respond with small nudges, soft hums, or the subtle shifting of her wings. Slowly, a shared rhythm formed between them, a communication deeper than words. One evening, a sudden rustle in the forest made them both alert. Predators or scavengers could be near. Lyra's wings flared slightly, ready to defend. Alex placed a steady hand on her massive shoulder, focusing on his calmness. "We're ready," he whispered. In that moment, the bond became more than emotional. It became tactical. They moved together without speaking, anticipating each other's actions, a human and dragon acting as one. The threat retreated, sensing the silent coordination. Alex sat down afterward, breathing steadily. "I never imagined this," he murmured. Lyra curled her head near him, her warmth comforting. "I didn't either," she seemed to say. The connection had grown stronger than he could have imagined, proving that intelligence, empathy, and courage were qualities that bridged even the largest divides. In the quiet of the night, Alex thought about the future. The eggs would hatch someday, and he would be responsible for guiding the next generation. The bond he had with Lyra was not just love or partnership. It was the beginning of a new way of living, a demonstration that humans could inspire loyalty, trust, and understanding in creatures far beyond their size and strength. He placed a hand on her scaled neck, feeling the steady warmth beneath. "We're ready for this," he said softly. Lyra hummed in agreement, her eyes reflecting the faint starlight. The human understood something profound. In a galaxy filled with immense power and terrifying creatures, humans had a unique strength. It was not in size or firepower. It was in courage, intelligence, and the ability to form bonds that others could not. The egg shifted slightly inside her, and Alex smiled. Somehow, they had created something new, something that combined the best of both species. He looked at Lyra, his 7-foot dragon wife, and knew that together they could face whatever challenges the universe would throw at them. The strange bond they shared was not only a miracle. It was proof of human ingenuity, patience, and heart. As night fell and the stars appeared above, Alex and Lyra rested together, side by side. The quiet hum of their connection pulsed like a heartbeat through the small home. Humans might be small, fragile, and underestimated, but Alex knew that courage, love, and understanding could create wonders that no galaxy could ignore. Together, human and dragon had begun something extraordinary, something that would change their lives forever. The morning sun painted the alien forest in shades of gold and green. Alex and Lyra were outside, checking protective barriers he had built around their home. The eggs inside Lyra pulsed faintly, a reminder of the life growing within her. The strange bond they shared made Alex aware of even the smallest shifts in her body and the tiny movements of their future hatchlings. He smiled, but the smile didn't last long. A distant hum reached his ears, a sound he recognized instantly from his years as a galactic engineer and former soldier. Scout ships, not friendly ones. His stomach tightened. News of a human-dragon hybrid was bound to travel fast, and some creatures in the galaxy were curious and dangerous. "Lyra," he said quietly, placing a hand on her scaled neck. She tilted her head, ears flicking. Alex's mind raced. He needed to prepare. If outsiders discovered her condition, they might try to capture her, or worse, take the eggs. The thought made his heart pound. Humans were small and fragile in the galaxy, but clever, determined, and courageous. He would need all of that now. He checked the sensors he had installed around the perimeter. Tiny blips appeared on the monitors. Small ships, sleek and silent, approaching from the horizon. Alex's eyes narrowed. "They're coming," he whispered. Lyra shifted beside him, muscles tensing in anticipation. She trusted him, and he needed to act fast to protect their family. Alex ran through his options. His knowledge of technology, strategy, and improvisation would be critical. He set small decoy devices in the forest, creating false heat signatures and noise patterns to confuse the intruders. Lyra followed his movements, her wings flaring slightly as if offering silent approval. Together, they were a team, one part human ingenuity, one part dragon instinct. The scout ships moved closer. Alex could see the sleek shapes glinting in the sunlight. He tapped into their signals, trying to understand their intent. They were not peaceful observers. They were a faction that studied rare phenomena, often using force if necessary. His heart raced, but he kept calm. Panic would only make mistakes more likely. Lyra stepped in front of him, wings spreading to full size. She roared, a sound that shook the nearby trees. Alex felt the vibrations through his chest, yet he stayed still, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Steady," he whispered. The roar was enough to make some of the smaller scout ships hesitate. Humans alone could not command such attention, but combined with the dragon, even small humans could make a difference. The first ship tried to land near the perimeter. Alex triggered a set of automated holographic decoys. The ship's sensors went haywire, and it veered away slightly. "Good," he muttered, adjusting the devices. Lyra shifted beside him, her eyes alert. Alex realized that the dragon's presence amplified the effectiveness of every human tactic. Together, they were unpredictable, clever, and dangerous. The scout ships began to coordinate, attempting to flank the home. Alex quickly recalculated. He set traps in the forest, lightweight nets powered by energy pulses that could entangle small ships or cause them to malfunction. Lyra hovered over the traps, ready to strike if anything got too close. The eggs inside her moved slightly, as if responding to the tension in the air. Alex felt a surge of determination. Humans might be small, but courage and intelligence were tools stronger than any weapon. He could outthink larger, more powerful opponents. He focused on predicting their moves, coordinating with Lyra in silent, unspoken communication. The bond they shared allowed him to anticipate her actions, and hers to anticipate his. The scout ships fired warning shots, energy beams glinting in the sunlight. Alex ducked behind a large tree, while Lyra swooped low, creating gusts that disrupted their targeting systems. The human's heart pounded, but he stayed calm, calculating angles and distances. Every move was a test of human ingenuity against alien technology. One ship attempted to land closer than the others. Alex activated a combination of traps and distractions. Holographic duplicates of Lyra appeared, confusing the sensors. Energy pulses from the traps disabled the ship's landing gear, forcing it to retreat. Lyra let out a triumphant roar, and Alex laughed quietly, despite the danger. Together, they had turned the tables. As the sun dipped lower, the last of the scout ships withdrew. Alex wiped sweat from his brow, his chest heaving with relief. Lyra landed gently beside him, nuzzling his arm. He felt the warmth of her scales and the faint heartbeat of the eggs within. The danger had passed for now, but he knew it could return. Sitting on a rock, Alex looked at Lyra. "We did it," he said softly. "We kept them safe." She chirped in response, brushing her muzzle against his shoulder. In that moment, he realized that the galaxy might underestimate humans, but with courage, intelligence, and the right bonds, humans could survive and even thrive against incredible odds. Night fell, and the stars began to shine above. Alex thought of the eggs, the life growing inside Lyra, and the strange bond that made him feel connected not just to her, but to the future itself. He understood now that humans could inspire trust, loyalty, and even love in creatures far larger and stronger. It was a strength that could protect, create, and endure. Alex lay down beside Lyra as the forest quieted. The faint pulse of the eggs beneath her scales was a reminder of what they were fighting for. He smiled. Humans might be small in the vastness of the galaxy, but courage, intelligence, and heart could overcome even the greatest threats. Together, human and dragon had faced the dangers of the galaxy, and together they would face whatever came next. The night was still, but the bond between human and dragon pulsed like a heartbeat, steady and unbreakable. And somewhere in the stars, the galaxy would remember that humans, small but brave, could protect life, love, and family against all odds. The morning light filtered through the trees, casting a golden glow across Alex and Lyra's small home. Lyra shifted gently on the ground, her massive body coiled around a soft, warm area where the eggs pulsed faintly beneath her scales. Alex knelt beside her, running his hand over her smooth neck, feeling the gentle warmth that radiated from her. Today was different. He could sense it. A soft tremor passed through Lyra's body. Alex's eyes widened as he realized the eggs were beginning to hatch. His heart pounded with excitement and nervousness. He had protected them, guided them, and now the life they had nurtured together was about to emerge into the galaxy. Lyra shifted slightly, lowering her head to nuzzle Alex's hand. The trust and bond between them felt stronger than ever. "It's happening," Alex whispered. Lyra responded with a low hum, vibrating through the air like a heartbeat that resonated with his own. The first egg cracked, sending tiny shards of shell skittering across the soft ground. A small, wriggling dragon hatchling emerged, blinking up at the world with curious golden eyes. Alex's breath caught in his throat. It had features from both species: slender, intelligent eyes, small claws that glimmered, and a faint shimmer in its tiny wings. "Lyra, it's perfect," he said softly. The dragon hum sounded almost like a chuckle. She gently nudged the hatchling with her muzzle, letting it know it was safe. Alex felt a surge of awe. Humans might be small, but here his patience, courage, and care had protected something incredible. The next eggs followed. One by one, 5 tiny dragons emerged, each with unique patterns of scales and colors. Their wings twitched, their eyes bright with intelligence, and each of them seemed to study the world immediately. Alex felt both fear and wonder. They were alive, and their survival depended on him and Lyra. The day passed in a blur of movement and careful care. Alex helped Lyra adjust to each hatchling's needs, ensuring they were warm and calm. He realized that humans had a unique strength, the ability to nurture, to teach, and to bond in ways creatures of pure instinct might not. His small hand soothed the hatchlings, and his voice, soft and steady, reassured them. As evening approached, a low rumble echoed through the forest. Alex's eyes narrowed. He knew that the egg's unusual nature might attract attention, even now. But he also realized that these small creatures were already showing signs of intelligence far beyond ordinary dragons. They followed Lyra's guidance, responded to his voice, and seemed to recognize the bond between human and dragon. One hatchling clambered onto Alex's lap, chirping softly. He laughed, his heart swelling. "You're not afraid, are you?" he asked. The tiny dragon blinked up at him and chirped again, almost as if it understood. Lyra nudged Alex gently, her eyes bright and proud. He felt a warmth that went beyond physical comfort. This was respect, trust, and love shared between species. Night fell, and the stars appeared in the sky. Alex and Lyra sat together. The hatchlings nestled around them, their small bodies glowing faintly with warmth. Alex marveled at the miracle they had created. Humans might be fragile in the galaxy, but courage, intelligence, and heart could protect life that others would deem impossible. Suddenly, a faint shadow moved along the forest edge. Alex tensed, placing a protective hand on Lyra's shoulder. The tiny dragon stirred, sensing the potential danger. But Alex realized something remarkable. Even in their infancy, the hatchlings were aware of threats, responding instinctively to their environment. The human mind had combined with dragon instincts to create creatures that were resilient, curious, and ready to face the galaxy. Alex looked at Lyra, her massive form coiled protectively around the hatchlings. "We did it," he whispered. She lowered her head, touching her muzzle to his cheek, a gesture that conveyed pride, trust, and partnership. Together, they had survived the impossible, nurtured life, and faced threats from across the stars. He thought about the future. The hatchlings would grow, and he would guide them, teaching them, protecting them, and showing them the value of courage, intelligence, and empathy. Humans were small, yes, but they had a remarkable capacity to protect, to nurture, and to inspire. He realized that the galaxy would soon understand that even a tiny human could change the course of events when paired with the right courage and heart. As the night deepened, Alex held one of the hatchlings close, feeling its heartbeat and warmth. Lyra rested her head beside him, her scales brushing against his arm. The small dragon slept peacefully, unaware of the vast galaxy that might one day test them, but secure in the care of their human and dragon parents. Alex whispered softly, "You're safe. All of you will protect you, no matter what comes." Lyra hummed in agreement, a sound that vibrated to the ground and into his chest. The miracle of life was not just in the hatchlings. It was in the bond they had created, in the courage they shared, and in the human heart that had made it all possible. In that quiet night, under the alien stars, Alex understood something profound. Humans might be small in size, but in courage, ingenuity, and heart, they were mighty beyond measure. And together with Lyra, he had begun a story that would echo across the galaxy, a story of protection, love, and the miracle of life itself. The sun rose slowly over the alien forest, casting long golden beams across the clearing where Alex, Lyra, and the 5 hatchlings had made their home. The dragons had grown quickly, their small wings now strong enough for short flights, their claws sharp but careful, their eyes bright with curiosity. Alex watched them, a quiet pride swelling in his chest. He had nurtured life that others would have deemed impossible. Lyra stretched her massive wings, folding them neatly after a gentle flap. She nudged one of the young dragons, guiding it toward Alex. The hatchling chirped, climbing onto his lap with surprising confidence. Alex stroked its smooth scales, feeling the warmth and pulse of life. Humans were small, yes, but their heart, courage, and intelligence had helped this family survive and thrive. The days had been filled with learning. Alex taught the hatchlings about the world around them, showing them safe paths in the forest, explaining the signs of danger, and helping them understand the balance between curiosity and caution. Lyra watched, sometimes adding her own lessons in subtle nudges, protective movements, and the occasional playful roar. Together, human and dragon created a harmony that felt as old as the stars. One afternoon, a fleet of alien scouts appeared on the horizon. Alex froze briefly, then remembered the traps and decoys he had set earlier. The scouts hesitated, confused by the holograms and false signals. He realized then that humans were underestimated because of size, but intelligence and strategy could turn the smallest being into a formidable force. He whispered instructions to Lyra, and the dragon moved with precision, wings flaring to create gusts that disrupted sensors. The scouts attempted to land closer, but the combined tactics of human ingenuity and dragon instinct forced them to retreat. Alex felt a quiet thrill. This was more than survival. It was proof. Humans, despite appearances, could protect, lead, and outsmart forces much larger and stronger. Lyra nudged him, her eyes reflecting pride and trust, as if acknowledging that the human beside her was more than capable. As evening fell, Alex sat among the hatchlings, who had gathered around him in a small circle. He noticed how quickly they were learning, mimicking his gestures, responding to his voice, and showing early signs of intelligence that surpassed even their kind. Lyra rested nearby, her massive form coiled protectively, her eyes scanning the horizon. Alex realized that they were not only safe, they were ready for the galaxy. He thought about the future. These hatchlings would grow into dragons that could traverse worlds, yet they would always remember the human who protected them when they were small and vulnerable. They would carry his lessons, his courage, and his example wherever they went. Humans might be fragile in the grand scheme, but their legacy could echo across the stars. One hatchling climbed onto his shoulder and chirped softly. Alex laughed, gently rubbing its back. "You'll remember me, won't you?" he asked. The dragon responded with a trill that felt like a promise. Lyra nudged aside, her eyes soft and approving. Together, they formed a family that no one could easily threaten. The night brought a calm silence. Stars shimmered in the sky, reflecting off Lyra's scales and illuminating the small clearing. Alex looked around at his unusual family. He realized that humans were not just survivors. They were creators of legacy. Their courage, empathy, and intelligence could shape life in ways no other species could. Even the vast, dangerous galaxy had no power over the strength of human heart and determination. Suddenly, a distant hum reached them. It was not a threat this time. It was curiosity. Word of the human and dragon family had traveled across worlds. Scouts from other species came to observe, cautious yet intrigued. Alex stood, gesturing calmly. Lyra flared her wings slightly, showing strength but not aggression. The hatchlings responded, a mix of curiosity and confidence in their movements. The visitors realized that humans, though small, commanded respect not through size or firepower, but through courage, intelligence, and the bonds they could form. Alex addressed the observers. "We are small," he said softly, "but we protect, we learn, and we endure. Life matters. Courage matters. And love matters more than any weapon." Lyra hummed, and the hatchlings echoed with soft trills. The visitors listened, understanding that they were witnessing something extraordinary, a family bound by trust, courage, and mutual respect, where a human had helped shape the future of an alien species. Night deepened, and Alex returned to Lyra's side. "We've done it," he whispered. She nudged his shoulder, a gentle vibration of agreement. The hatchlings curled around them, safe and warm. The forest was calm, yet Alex felt the weight of responsibility and the pride of accomplishment. Humans might be underestimated in the galaxy, but their actions could ripple across worlds. They could protect, teach, and create bond that lasted generations. Alex thought about the legacy they were building. One day, these dragons would fly across stars, carrying the memory of a small human who had dared to act with courage and heart. He smiled, realizing that humans, no matter their size, could leave a mark in a universe that nothing could erase. As the stars sparkled above, Alex and Lyra rested together, surrounded by their children. The galaxy was vast and often dangerous, but here, in this quiet clearing, human courage had triumphed. It had protected life, nurtured it, and created a bond that would endure far beyond their years. Alex whispered to the hatchlings, "You are safe, you are loved, and one day you will remember how it all began." Lyra hummed, the sound resonating like a heartbeat. The dragon's small bodies glowed with warmth, a reminder of the miracle they had created together. In that still night, Alex understood something profound. Humans might be small, but in courage, intelligence, and heart, they could achieve greatness, protect life, and leave a legacy that would echo across the galaxy. And with that thought, he closed his eyes, knowing that their story, the story of a human, a dragon, and their extraordinary family, had only just begun.